You're an entrepreneur, more specifically a solopreneur. So doesn't that mean that you're responsible for doing it all when it comes to running your business? Whether you're a freelancer, entrepreneur, solopreneur, CEO, no matter what you call yourself, just because you do business alone does not mean that you're in business alone. As you know, I'm a huge proponent for networking, which is building your network to help build relationships, let people know who you are, as well as learning who other entrepreneurs are. But there's another aspect of business, and it's about making connections with people that can help you with your processes, with your product and your service. Now, whether they're employees or contractors, there's so many options to help you get your tasks done in a cost efficient and time efficient manner. Now, whether you need help with someone creating some graphic designs, creating your logo, building your website, or just keeping your books for taxes, that is all possible through the power of outsourcing. You don't have to be a millionaire to outsource. You don't have to pull in tens of thousands of dollars every month. A lot of times, you don't even have to be pulling a profit yet. You do have to be able to pay them for their services, however. But keep in mind, bartering is always an option. There may be someone that can help you if you're willing to help them. Keep in mind, the bottom line is that you don't have to do it all yourself. And after all, no one is a master of everything. So focus on what your passion is and reach out and let other people help you with the rest. As long as you research them and make sure they're knowledgeable, trustworthy, and can deliver what you need on time. For more help with learning how to outsource, who to outsource to, and just taking that first step, reach out to me. You can post your questions down below, or you can email me at info@theblackentrepreneur'snetwork.com. I am super excited to introduce you to our entrepreneur this week. Her name is Sasha Rosa, and she is the owner of Majestic Health. We all need to look sexy and healthy and get rid of some of those health issues that we have, whether it's from our diet or from our lifestyle, and she's the person to help you do it. Now, stay tuned to this feature interview because you're going to learn all about her business, but you're going to also learn that not only can she help coach you, but she can help you get started in a career of wellness or even help hold you accountable to your goals. So, without no further ado, here's Sasha Rosa. Hello, everyone. I am super excited to introduce you to our entrepreneur this week, Miss Sasha Rosa. She is a plant-based and weight loss expert. She's the owner of Majestic Health and can help you get into the best health of your life and get you looking even more sexier than you already are. I know we all want to know about that, whether we're male or female. So, Sasha, I'd like to thank you for agreeing to this featured interview and welcome you to Entrepreneur Insider. How are you doing today?
I'm doing great. Thank you so much for having me.
Oh, you're welcome. Yeah, you were actually one of our professional development speakers at one of our networking events. And I was like, okay, we have to learn more about your business. So, all right. So, what is Majestic Health? What type of services or products do you offer to your clients?
So, Majestic Health is all about um, helping you get not only the best health, getting the best health of your life, also get you in shape as well. The products that I offer, well, the services that I offer are programs where I help you one on one to get not only to get in shape to lose weight, but also kind of in a way because a lot of people when they have weight loss issues, it kind of stems from mindset issues. So I always say mindset is weight loss is 90% mindset. So I help you really get out of that mindset of, you can't lose weight and just the bad eating patterns of your past that probably came from childhood and reprogram your mind into new healthier habits. So it's like the whole program is, I have two programs. One is called the Sexy 6 Week program. The other one is a longer program. It's called the 12-week transformation program. And basically, they're both just to help you with your mindset, help you lose weight, create healthier habits. Because I always say when it comes to health, is the habits that you are doing on a day-to-day basis. So help you create healthier habits to lose weight, and also I'm really big on holistic health. So things like I also educated about things like herbs, things that help me for people that maybe have issues with, let's say, reproductive health issues or high blood pressure, things like that. So how teach you how those things can help you, achieve the best health and also feel better, also get you more active. So basically, take you through the whole process where you don't feel like you're doing it alone, because I'm guiding you through it as far as doing the week one-on-one, week to week one-on-one consultations with you. I put you, in a Facebook group with also women who are doing the same thing. And even after the program, you still have access to the Facebook group. So all the information is in there. The whole program pretty much is in there. So all the information that I can't give them on the phone, they literally have like 6 weeks of content to go through as well, because it's a lot of information.
Okay,
Yeah.
cool.
So
That's good. I think a lot of us need help.
yes.
So, okay, and so just to clarify, like your target audience, does it have to be someone that is necessarily like totally like overweight, or like they need some sort of like specialized something to help them lose weight, or is it really any woman that feels like she needs help with mindset or weight or health, or is it kind of anybody, or does it have to be a particular type of woman that can join your program?
Well, it's only women, but it's really anybody. As far as if you just feel like you want to have healthier habits, you need somebody to kind of guide you through the process. You need that accountability. You need that support. It could be women, because I had women who have no weight issues in my program. They just want to change the way they eat. They just want to feel better. I had women, who maybe they have like things running in their family, and they don't want to. They're getting older. They don't want to, inherit those things. So they join the program. So it really just depends. And the age range of women in the program is like from 23 to like 50.
Oh,
So it's
okay.
yeah, it's pretty wide weight age range. So
Okay.
um,
And one of the things that I know fascinated me that you mentioned, just someone had kind of asked a question at one of our events, and she had mentioned how like she chews ice, right? Like I don't know if you remember that. You probably
yeah,
don't
I
because you talk to a lot
remember.
of people. But I liked how you like that you knew that that sounded like it was a symptom of, XYZ. I won't go into all of her personal information. But I like how you automatically just kind of picked up on some of those clues by just having a conversation with someone. So is that kind of the norm of how what people can expect just to kind of converse with you when you learn a little bit more about them, or do they normally have to kind of fill out like a quiz? Like, how do you find out what people's symptoms are, especially since we're not always as upfront or we are
Right.
knowledgeable about some of the problems that we're having?
Right. So when somebody enters my program, I do what I like to call initial assessment. And that's where I'm basically asking them questions, their past, things like that. Just, of course, everything is confidential. So asking them questions about maybe their past history on things. Have they ever had issues with weight loss in the past? Things like that. I'm asking them a ton of questions because it lasts like an hour, and just really getting an idea. And just a lot of that stuff that I just know is it's not only personal things that I've dealt with as well, also just tons of research, over the years, because I was, suffering from all these health issues, and I've just done tons of research when it comes to holistic health. To I don't know if you're familiar with Dr. Sabi's his practices, herbs, read books, like, also not only on the healing aspect, but also on the weight loss aspect too. I've studied and read books about weight loss, the psychology of weight loss. So all of that, and I didn't even get to say it in the program. I also include my plant-based ebook as
Oh,
well. I
okay.
include a plant-based ebook, so and really teach them how to create, make healthier meals. That's easy. That's not gonna take them a long time. It actually tastes good. Teach them, I do live videos in there. Teach them how to flavor food and all that stuff. So it really, that program also comes with a lot of other things as well that, like for example, my flat belly guide, that's also,
Mhm.
included in the program. I do workout videos from home,
Okay.
teach you. Yeah. So it's a lot of things in the video as well, and lots of videos, lives where I'm really breaking it down, to make it a lot easier. So
Okay. Definitely. That sounds like a lot of content and easy to consume content for
yeah.
like everyone, right? Like you don't
Yes.
need to be an expert in order to follow your content. So that's good to know. That definitely helps people like me. And I like how you mentioned that you research you did just kind of wake up one day and was like, I can do this. And not, against anyone that does do that, but it helps to know that, you're up to date in terms of what's going on in the industry. Um, yeah, cool. That actually was going to be one of my questions for you. Is what makes you different than other coaches that are out there and mentors that are out there. And I know that what you just spoke on is one of those things because a lot of times people don't do that research, right? They don't keep up to date. But what else would you say makes you different from if someone else is like, hey, there's so many, weight loss experts and wellness coaches
Mhm.
and plant-based people out here. How would I choose? What would you tell someone to let them know that you are the person that they should be working with?
I would definitely say, because I've actually been through it. Like, I've had my own weight loss journey, and I've had health issues transition into being plant based. I went through all of that. I struggled with weight for years before I was able to get it right. So I think that because a lot of wellness coaches, that's saying they're not great, but they haven't actually been at a point where they were like, almost 60 pounds overweight. They haven't, dealt with those challenges. It's really not easy. So I think that aspect definitely sets me apart, because I know how it feels like to, you have food run your life pretty much. So yeah.
Exactly. Now, for somebody that doesn't either know what plant-based is or they're kind of afraid, like they think you're just going to have them eating spinach all day, what would you what would you tell them about what plant-based is, like to kind of clear up any myths that are out there about it?
I would tell them that what I do, I'm big on, is not forcing people to transition into, like, to any type of vegan or anything like that. Plant based basically is just you're eating a majority of what you're eating is plants. So whether you're eating meat, dairy, or anything else, it's just majority of what you're eating is plants. So I kind of teach people how meet people where they are and teach people how to do that. So yes, I don't tell people, oh, you have to give up the meat. Yeah, but I just make sure you're filling your diet up with healthier food, so you don't really have room for all that, other stuff. And I find that, once you're getting nutrients into your body, and once, my clients are getting nutrients, real food, real nutrients into their bodies, those cravings for those, not so great things are less and less and less. So.
Okay, that makes sense. Now, do they have to like shop at any kind of special stores or like a lot of the things that you help them with are available in like, Publix or Walmart grocery?
Yeah, a lot of things a lot of things that I help them with are available in regular grocery stores. I don't know, we don't have.
Okay.
I'm in the DMV area, so we don't have Publix here, but we have, like, yeah. But most of
Yeah.
majority of the things are really in regular, food stores. I do tell them tips and tricks on how to save money, because a lot of people
Okay.
have think
Oh,
being plant
that's
based.
helpful.
Yeah, think being plant-based is expensive, and it really does not have to be. Like, when I transitioned, I did not have a lot of money, so I
Yeah,
kind of know the tips
that's
and
good to
tricks.
know. Okay. What made you start a company or a business in this industry?
So you know what? It's just okay. So I was pretty much helping people with weight loss and, just eating better, and also healing, like, for free, people in my life for free, whether it was coworkers, friends, all that stuff. I was doing that for kind of free. And I
Oh,
guess
awesome.
one day, I think it was like earlier last year, it just hit me like, I know I should really do this, because I have so many people asking me questions about, how can I lose weight? How can I transition into being plant based? How can I, I had a lot of, and then I had a Facebook group as well for a while. I don't have it anymore, but I had it for a while. And it was like almost 1,000 members. It was like, yeah.
Oh,
Yeah. So
okay.
I was doing it for free for a while. And I've had my Instagram, even though I wasn't that active on it, but I've had this since 2018, where I was, encouraging people to go. Mostly I was pushing more so vegan, but then after a while, I was like, no, you have to meet people where they are. You can't force them to transition. So just, yeah, just pretty much, I was like, I should really do this. And this is my passion, you know?
Yeah.
So yeah,
Definitely. Yeah. And we need people that are passionate, because
definitely.
you're really going to tell us the truth.
Yes.
When you really care about what you're doing, you have a passion, you're going to tell us the truth. You're not just going to tell us what it takes to,
Right.
to make a sale. So definitely. Well, thank you. Okay. And then you mentioned, let me actually, before I answer these questions. So, to kind of help our audience with learning about your business, we also want to learn a lot more about you as an entrepreneur. So some of those questions we'll start to kind of transition into some of those questions, learning about you as well as, your experience as an entrepreneur. So, in case you're like, hey, she just jumped. Okay. So, you mentioned you've been helping people since you said about 2018. Did your
Yeah,
business
around
start at
that.
that point?
I'm sorry, I didn't hear you.
No, is that when you officially formed your business that in 2018 as well?
No, no. When I
Okay.
officially formed my business was earlier 2020. So I think like
Okay.
April
Uh,
2020.
when
Yeah.
people really needed to eat well.
Yeah. Yeah.
When we
That,
all were like just eat chips and
yeah.
marshmallows because we could, because we were in the house. Okay.
Right.
That took actually a really good time to start your business. Okay.
Mhm.
So considering that you did start your business at the beginning of the pandemic, and what your mission initially was starting your business, has that mission changed, to this point, like today in 2021, or do you still have like the same mission, the same services at this time?
No, before I think I did not have. I created the ebook because I have the ebook in October, and I created the Sex 6 Week program in September. So I did not have all these services available. I did not have. I know I didn't have separate 60-minute consultations available. So things have changed. I've added things on. Just seeing what people needed, seeing, trying to also talking to people, in the DMs, all of that stuff, and also seeing what my clients needed as well. I have fine tuned. Not always. I'm always fine tuning things. I have fine tuned as time went on. Just more so to help people and really getting a feel for what people need, what helps people. So I would feel like I would say I've gotten a lot better since last year. But last year,
Mm.
I'm not saying I was bad last year, but you know how it is.
Transition is natural.
Yeah, yeah. So
Yeah. Was it really hard to write an ebook, like to actually take the things that were in your head and put them down on paper? Was that
yeah, it's a
easy?
recipes ebook. So it was because okay, so I'm originally Nigerian, and
Hmm.
we don't measure
Okay.
anything. We just kind of like that's how that's how I learned. So that's how I naturally am. I don't measure things, as far as seasonings. I just kind of like put a dash of this, put a dash of this. So I actually had to sit down and really measure things and write things out, which was extremely difficult.
Yeah, I
But
can
I did it.
imagine.
So yeah.
I can imagine, but it was probably worth it.
Yeah.
Definitely. Yeah, for someone that's me that doesn't cook, I'm like, we need those measurements. So I'm glad you took the time to do
Yeah.
it. Okay. Now has being in business been a little bit different? And not different in a bad way, but different either in a good or bad way, or different than what you expected than, before you started your business or when you first started your business. Have you kind of learned any lessons, or have you realized like this is different than what I expected? Or has it been
Um,
exactly what you expected?
I would say, um, well, at first I thought it was more time consuming than it was. I was like, oh my gosh, like I didn't know being an entrepreneur was this hard. Oh my gosh. But I feel
Yeah.
like,
Mhm.
once you get some systems in place, like things aren't as time consuming and as difficult. So at first things were just, of course, you're starting a new business. There are a lot, I feel like I was working 24/7. I feel
Mhm.
like I didn't get to sleep. I'm like, oh my gosh, like how do people do this?
Yeah,
But things
exactly.
are
But I'm glad you
easier.
mentioned that because that is the truth. And that's like one of the reasons why I ask is for people to realize that sometimes, it's not as simple.
Right.
Sometimes it's more than what we expect. And sometimes we're like, oh, okay, this kind of makes sense. So do
Right.
you have any productivity hacks or anything that you learn to kind of help you every day in your business, whether it's like a tool or just like a trick or a process that kind of helps you streamline so you don't work 24/7?
I would say like creating a schedule definitely always helps me. Going to sleep, well, I'm still working on this. Some days I'm good, some days I'm bad. Going to sleep at a reasonable hour,
Mhm.
which for me is midnight, but
Me too.
not going to sleep at 3 or 4 in the morning, and feeling like crap the rest of the day. But yeah, just really getting enough sleep, creating a schedule, because of course you still want to have a personal life. You still want to have time to do things, whether that's for me going to the gym, or just, going out with friends, whatever, you still want to
Yeah.
create time because and also your self care time as well. That's important too.
Yeah. So you actually, let me just make sure you actually do workout videos at home and then you still go to the gym as well? Is that really what you just said?
No, okay, so I don't do workout videos every day. Workout videos,
Okay,
I've created them so they have them in the group. I've created,
got you.
so I've already pre-recorded a whole bunch. But yeah, so no, I don't do workout
It's
videos.
good though. No, I applaud you because some of us don't do either. So the fact that you do both
No, I
is
don't.
very
Yeah.
commendable. That's good. Just out of curiosity, how often do you go to the gym? Because you're in pretty good shape. How often do you go? Like every day? Like, so I know some people are fanatics and they go every day.
Right. No, I don't. I don't have time to go every day. I would say 4 times a week. I would
Okay,
say
that's
about
still
four
really
times.
good.
Yeah.
Okay,
So
that's still
about
really
4 times a week, and
good.
that works for me.
So for people that may like see this video and they're like, I don't know if I necessarily want the program, but I may want an accountability partner, right? Somebody that holds me accountable to going to the gym or meeting my goals. Is that something that they can reach out to you and inquire about?
Absolutely. I do have
Okay.
okay, so separate from the programs, I do have a 60-minute consultation call. Of course,
Okay.
it comes with a charge, but yeah, it's that is actually great. Some people like, look, I just need that and I create a custom health plan for them and that they can always have, and also I do a free 15-minute follow up like a couple weeks later to make sure they're okay. But I also have that in packages too for people that like, look, I'm going to need this kind of like long term, maybe for like the next couple months. I have a package. I think it's a package of four. So you could get one or you can get four of
Oh,
60-minute consultation calls. So
okay.
yeah,
That's a
that's
great deal.
definitely something I do. Yeah.
Yeah, that definitely is a great deal. Okay. Um, and kind of taking a step back for a second, do you manage your entire business, Majestic Health, by yourself, or do you have a partner or a team that works with you to help
Right.
with any tasks?
Right. Okay, so right now I am doing it alone. I mean,
Okay.
I've outsourced for things that I've needed, like for example, my ebook creating that I outsourced for that. But so I outsource here and there, but right now it's just me. Hopefully, it would not be like that for long term. So I would like somebody like an assistant or something like that. Yeah.
Okay, definitely. I'm glad you mentioned outsourcing because that is
Yes.
so key, right? Everyone can't do it all themselves. Like it's just
Right.
virtually impossible. So
It's
I'm glad
impossible.
that you mentioned that though. Yeah, exactly. It's
Yeah.
like as much like even I just take editing, editing video, right? I mean, everybody makes it seem like you can just Google something and figure it out and watch a YouTube video, but some things just really aren't that
Right.
straightforward. So I'm glad you mentioned that. Okay.
Right.
And then I'm also glad that you mentioned, working with an assistant because a lot of times people feel like they have to be a millionaire or have a giant team to justify getting an assistant, and you really don't. I mean, assistant really can help you with some of those tasks that you have to do in your business, but
Yeah.
they kind of take you away from your passion. So thank you for
Absolutely.
mentioning that. Um, Okay, can anyone start a business or a career as a coach or a weight loss expert, or does it take a specialized skill set,
I would
in your
say,
opinion?
in
Yeah.
my opinion,
Hmm.
I would say, oh man, I wouldn't say anyone. I would say honestly, somebody that's had training, somebody that's done a lot of research, somebody that's done trial and error. Um, I have seen people just pop up all of a sudden become weight loss coaches.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, it's not that easy. It's not that simple. People have to really trust you. And People are not going to really trust you if you haven't been through the process yourself. That's number one. And also, just if you haven't helped others as well. So, you have to really know what you're talking about. So, I would say get training for that. I am certified, so I do have that.
Oh,
But
okay.
get some type of training, get experience, do some research. Don't just pop up and say, hey, I think I want to do this. Like, actually do some research. So, you can be not just the weight loss, but actually a good one that really helps people. And also, there's one thing about weight loss. Anybody can lose weight, but I also say it's very hard to keep that weight off. So you have to get also specialize in that. Like, how can I get people to actually
Mm.
not only just lose weight, but in my program or whatever they're doing, but also keep that weight off as time goes on. So, because I get so happy when I see my clients not only losing weight, but keeping the weight off. I posted one of my clients the other day. She was like, since I left your program, she was in my 12-week transformation program. She was like, since I left your program, I've been losing weight. I've lost 15 pounds since, she lost weight in the
Wow.
program, a lot of weight in the
Okay.
program. And then afterwards was still losing weight. And then I posted her before and after. It's actually the last picture on my
Mm.
Instagram. And I was like, I could not believe it. It was amazing. Like,
Yes.
yeah,
Oh, I love that. Yeah, I love before and after pictures.
yes,
Um, and I'm glad you mentioned that because I was going to ask you about marketing. But before I do, I'm so glad that you mentioned, and that's actually part of the reason I asked the question about who can become what. Because I realize we live in a world where anyone can do whatever they want. It is wonderful. However,
right.
I do agree. It does seem like people wake up one day. I always use the example of like lip gloss. People are like, oh, I'm gonna wake up and I'm gonna sell lip gloss and I'm gonna be Fenty Beauty. And I'm like, ma'am, no, you're not. Like there is research, there is stuff that has to go into it. So that's the reason why I'm glad, you asked that question and you answered honestly
Yeah,
because we don't want to limit what people can do, but we do want to encourage them to say, okay, if you want to wake up and do that, that's great, but take some time to do some research and reach out to people that can maybe answer your questions. So we definitely, I'm glad that you are certified and can help people, so hopefully people will reach out to you for that as well. Okay. So marketing, because marketing is a big part of business. Unfortunately, with these interviews, we can't go into every aspect, but we do, I do try to ask some marketing questions because it makes a difference. No one wants to go into business just to, talk to themselves, right? Not have
right.
clients. So I do know you're on IG and we'll share your IG username down below when we post this. But do you want to let us know what your username is right now?
Yes, it's Sasha Rosa and then underscore health coach.
Perfect. And are you on any other platforms besides Instagram or just
Yes.
Instagram?
I'm also on Facebook, Sasha Rosa. I'm on
Okay.
Clubhouse as well. I'm on there. I do rooms on there sometimes. So Sasha Rosa, definitely follow me. Yeah. So those are the
Perfect.
three only ones that I'm very active on: Facebook, Instagram, and Clubhouse.
Yeah, Clubhouse is a major one,
Yeah.
especially nowadays. So, what is your favorite marketing strategy? Is it social media, or do you have another strategy that works really well for your business to attract your customers and your
That
clients?
is a good question. I'm gonna have to say social media. I am working on other ways to attract customers besides that. Because I kind of started my business in a pandemic, I'm so used to virtual, but I do want to
Mm.
actually really, really network in person as well. Hopefully, when things get a little bit better, but meet people in person. But it's social media because I think people can see before and after pictures. They can read my reviews. They can, they could, pretty much see me living a healthier lifestyle. And that I try to show like lifestyle stuff, like me actually living what I'm preaching. That is well. And I
Yeah,
also
you
do
share
live.
some great things.
Oh,
I'm
thank you.
sorry, go ahead.
Thank you. I do lives as well when I can. I'm actually doing one tomorrow. But yeah, so things like that, I try to. It's easier, so much easier on social media. But I would like to also, in the future,
Yeah.
also in person.
Because yeah, that makes sense. I mean, definitely a combination is great, but
Yeah.
you create great content, and it
Thank
seems
you.
like I know that's one area people really struggle with is one, finding content, and two, being regular and consistent with their content. Do you
Yeah.
have any like tips or tricks, especially if you're doing your social media all yourself? Like, do you schedule it, or are you literally like several times a day posting and sharing? Because yours is a variety, you
Yeah.
entertain, you inspire. You answer a lot of great questions, relevant questions, whether it's things about like the pandemic. So do you do it all yourself? And like, how do you manage your social media as well as running your business?
I do do it mostly on myself. Okay, so how do I manage? I don't really schedule, even though I should, but I also have a planner where I
Okay.
kind of like write down just for that social media, just where I kind of write down like what I want to put out, especially on Instagram. But yeah, that's pretty much it. I kind of like I do. I probably should get better with that and get some of these apps that schedule it out for you. But for now, it's just me putting it out. I don't do because some people are like you have to post 3 times a day. I don't do that. To me, that's so tiring. I don't do that.
Yeah.
If I skip a day, it's okay. It's not a big deal.
Mhm.
But I try to be present on my stories every single day if I can.
Yeah.
That's another way to market as well. And yeah, and also ask people. I do polls to ask people what they're interested in, what kind of
Okay.
content they're interested in seeing, that things like that as well.
Okay. Great information. Okay, good to know. So speaking of the recommended posting 3 times a day, I know every platform is different. And um, on the larger scale, as an entrepreneur, what is the best business advice you've received? It could be whether it's posting 3 times a day or it could be something else, but what was the best advice that you've received about running a business?
Ooh, that's a good question. I would say be authentic, be yourself, and follow your intuition as well because you're gonna get so much advice from so many different areas. And if it doesn't feel right, don't do it. It might have
Mm,
worked for one person. It's probably that doesn't mean it's necessarily gonna work for you. Something totally different
mm.
that somebody says does not work may work for you. So just be yourself, just be authentic, and follow
I
your.
love that. Yeah, definitely. That's great advice. If you were to start your business over today, what
Mhm.
is one thing that you would do different? It could be in the creation of your business or the operation of your day-to-day business. What would that one thing be that you would do differently?
That's a good question. That's a good question. Wow, I probably would have put out my ebook a little bit earlier because I kind of
Okay.
like procrastinated on that for a while because it was. I told you it was so difficult, and also finding somebody to also create. Creating in Canva was difficult as well. Finding the right person, and then I'm a
Okay.
perfectionist, so all that stuff. But yeah, um, I would say, man, I would have put my ebook earlier. Um, that's probably the only thing I can think of right now.
Okay.
Yeah.
But that's good because a lot of times, um, like with especially with like an ebook, it can help. And I don't know if this is why you did it. So I don't want to put words in your mouth. But one of the things I know in my business that because I procrastinate on those digital items,
Yes.
but I'm kind of having to reframe because those are the things that kind of help drive your income, right? Like it's good
Mhm.
to have a product or a service, well, excuse me, it's good to have a service, but when you actually have a product that kind of helps, propel your business. But I totally understand exactly, what you're saying about getting out there because I still don't have a product out there. So so I totally understand, but I'm glad you mentioned that as something you would do differently. Just take the bull by the horns and do it, right?
Right. Right.
So yeah. Now of course I'm not cooking nothing and putting the recipes down, but I totally understand. Okay. Do you have any like business not business hacks, sorry. If do you have any tips or like tricks that and I don't want to take like your secret sauce, but if there was like a really quick tip that you share with a client to help them meet their goal, would
Mhm.
it be like get your mindset in order? That sounds really like it sounds really tough, but like, would that be a tip, or like, what tip would you share with someone to kind of say, like, overall to help them meet their goal? Does that make more sense than me just
It's
saying get
yeah,
yourself in
yeah,
order?
yeah. It makes more sense, but it's so
Okay.
hard to say because it's like, oh, I have to like break it all down. But one
Gotcha.
overall thing I could say is, of course, I gave a lot more information about this in the
Mhm.
call or in the program. But just imagine yourself as your best self. Whether
Mm.
it's the body you want, the health you want. Imagine yourself being there, and try to embody the habits. Ask yourself, what habits would I have once I was there? How would I feel once I was there? Try to embody that, try to imagine that, try to visualize that, and
Okay.
then, act as if.
I love it. Yeah, that's
Yeah,
definitely a great, yeah, definitely great tip. Um, I forgot to ask you your ebook. Can we get that on your website or is there a special
absolutely.
URL? Okay.
Yes.
I'll
It's,
definitely make sure we share that as well.
yes.
I'm sorry, go ahead. You
Yeah,
can share.
the link is a link tree. So yeah, you'll see the ebook of plant-based recipes. You'll see that there, and you can definitely get that there.
Okay,
Yeah.
perfect. And then one last question as we wrap up this amazing interview. Do you have any special events coming up or promotions or anything that you'd like to share with our audience that we can either follow you or participate in?
I don't have any special events or promotions. I don't usually do sales that often.
Mhm.
Yeah, I don't really do sales that often, but just follow me. You never know. Also, join my email list. That's also in the link tree. You'll see the first thing is join my email list. Stay connected because you just never know.
Yeah, definitely. Well, this has been an amazing interview. We have enjoyed meeting you, Miss Sasha Rosa, learning all about Majestic Health, your services, your ebook, as well as your marketing efforts on social media. And we definitely will encourage everyone to not only reach out to you, but to support you and most importantly, to share you. Is there anything else that you'd like to add before we close this interview?
No, this was a great interview, and I just want to thank you so much for having me on here.
Oh, you're welcome. Thank you so much for allowing me to feature you on Entrepreneur Insider.
Thank you.
All right, so are you ready to contact Sasha Rosa and get help with your diet and your lifestyle so you can get healthier? I'm sure that you are. Reach out to her, grab her ebook, follow her on social media, and don't forget to share her with your communities. She has a positive spirit and a wealth of information to help you live a long, happy, and healthy life. Thank you for watching this episode of Entrepreneur Insider. If you'd like to be featured in an upcoming episode or sponsor an upcoming episode, please reach out to me. My email is info@theblackentrepreneursnetwork.com. This episode was brought to you by 3 Crown Naturals. Check them out at 3crownnaturals.com and their full line of health and body products. They go along perfect with the new fit and healthy you. So check them out and make your skin beautiful today. Don't forget to share their website with others as well. Now, as always, the show is brought to you in partnership with Relationship Entertainment Television. Please subscribe if you haven't already and come back and watch next week's episode. Until then, be great. Peace.